like to say this is the most handsome I've ever been in my entire life. I look like a youth pastor who was found at the bottom of a river, but it's okay. Everyone, like, the quarantine was bad for everyone but me. I spent it getting in shape. It was like, fuck me. No, I want to be clear. I spent it getting in shape. That meant I spent a lot of it getting dead. I realized I needed to work out when the pandemic was going on, when I got winded letting an Amazon guy into my apartment. like, I don't know how healthy you're supposed to be at 37. I know it's not needs water after something's brought to you. So I did a lot of shit for myself. I started working out a little bit. I got a Fitbit. Does anyone have a Fitbit? Don't. It's terrible. It's the worst. It's the worst thing you'll ever do to your self-esteem. It's a little cop that sits on your wrist and tells you you're a piece of shit on the hour. On the hour, Fitbit's like, hey, do you know how many steps you could take to meet your goal? And I'm like, you don't know me yet, Fitbit. Fuck you. You know? But the worst part about Fitbit is for all of its technology, it can tell you if I'm sleeping, it can tell you what my heart rate is, it can tell you all sorts of things about you, but Fitbit, for all that technology, doesn't know what the fuck a panic attack is, guys. No. Yeah, so 3 times a week, I'm getting a lot of credit for shit I did not earn. No. It's just like, your heart rate's 187 beats per minute. You're in the zone, bro. What happened? And I'm like, my wife wanted to talk. Turns out we needed milk. Wasn't that bad. It's pretty great. I got a Peloton during the pandemic. My friends were like, oh, how could you afford that? I didn't think I could afford it. Here's what happened. Like 6 months into the pandemic, I looked at my bank account and I was like, why do I suddenly have 60 to 70 extra dollars every month? And let's be real. Nothing like the apocalypse to put your drug use into perspective, guys. Because I've never had a problem, but one time I had an exercise bike up my nose. If you don't know what a Peloton is, it's an exercise bike that has an iPad and a Colt attached to it. And you do these little classes and people like work you through them. And I thought that I was working out and I thought I was improving myself. I spent like the last year working on my anger, what people call toxic masculinity. And if you don't know what that is, it's how your dad talks to your mom. So yeah, just that. Have you ever heard a grown man talk to a woman? You're like, I should say something, but he's older than me. That's toxic masculinity. And I've been working on it. I was raised Baptist, so I thought all conflict resolution was yelling and hymns. It was great. And I thought I had gotten my shit together. And then I was taking a Peloton class. I was riding, and the instructor looked me in the eye through the screen, and he was like, hey man, everybody in the class, give yourselves a round of applause. And to no one in my empty apartment, I out loud said, fuck you. Yeah. Here's what'll tell you how much work you've done in your anger, guys. It's how you respond when a computer tells you to love yourself. Yeah. I failed. I did real bad. I didn't just work out. I tried to become a better lover. I spent a lot of time, I've been with the same woman for 19 years, so I feel like she knows all my moves. And I was like, I want to be a better lover. I did some research, you know? I did a lot of reading. I found out, did you guys, I don't know if you know this, when a guy squirts, that's mostly pee. No idea. I read that if you date more than one Italian at the same time, that's called polyamore. If you don't like that joke, you don't like fun. And okay. The other thing I found out is if you're going down on a lady and it's not happening for her, something you can do, you spell out the alphabet using, does anyone know this one? You know, American Sign Language. Yeah, it's great. If your hand cramps, feels like Cantonese. It's fantastic. I am very perverted. I'm perverted, but I've been with the same woman for 19 years. They call that Baptist? It's horrible. I grew up very perverse, and it just grew up, because like, Mike was talking about how, like, when he was a kid, you found porn in the woods. I grew up in Tennessee, okay? In Tennessee, fuck you. No, absolutely not. Wrong. Boo. In Tennessee, where I grew up, like, you either found your porn in the woods, like a box of Playboys, or like your friend's dad had, like, a VHS collection, and you just hoped he didn't have a fetish that was going to haunt you for the rest of your life, you know? That's what I had, except I didn't have any of those things. What I had as a young pastor's child in Chattanooga, Tennessee, at the age of 13, I got super into Harlequin romance novels. Yeah. You know those books with Fabio on the cover? I know those fucking books, guys. Yeah. And my parents didn't really care at first, because like they were like, well, he's reading. And then I stole all the scented candles and started taking hour-long baths. And they were like, he's too sensual. Take them away. Take them away. So I had to find a new plug. I had to find a new hookup. And what I found was this website called literotica.com. Does anyone know literotica? Okay, that's a knowing, happy laugh. If anybody here wants to know what the pleasured laugh of someone who comes thoughtfully is, think about that sound. Literotica is amazing, okay? If you want to fuck with your teacher or a werewolf, they have books for you. Like, it is there. They have millions of sex stories. And at the age of 13, what I did is print off hundreds of pages of pornographic stories on the computer in the family den. Yeah. I just sat next to my mom while she watched Gilmore Girls and just hit print. You know? And my mom's like, wow, you're taking your homework very seriously. I'm like, yeah, I'm really pounding it out. It's great. And then I'd go upstairs and try to masturbate while holding 500 sheets of printer paper. And I don't know if you've ever had like a video buffer while you're trying to come. That is nothing on dropping 500 sheets of paper on your deck. Okay? One day I was circumcised. It was great. So I decided to practice safe sex with myself. Okay? What I did, I went to Walgreens. I bought a 3-hole punch. I bought a Lisa Frank binder with a dolphin on it. Yeah? And then I bought some tabs, because when I want to masturbate, I want to know where I'm going. Just want to go right to the cheerleader section or whatever. And I went home and I constructed a phone book of porn. Just, yeah. They're just like, this is my master's thesis of who I am. You know, it was great. And it was amazing. Until one day, I came home from school, and my mom was sitting on my bed, holding my binder of porn. Yeah. And I was bold as fuck, y'all. I was just like, oh no, you found Dad's porn. Like, it's clearly not my porn. I would be a Lisa Frank tiger. Yeah. And my mom's like, I can tell this is yours. There's going to be some changes around here. And I was like, all right, what's up? She's like, number one, no more unsupervised computer time. And I was like, wow, you really don't pay attention during Gilmore Girls. Okay, yeah, that's fair. What's number two? She's like, number two, you're going to help make the church directory this year. I was like, what? And she's like, this is beautifully organized, honey. I didn't know you could collate. You ever been such a pervert you made Jesus' family stronger? That was me. That was who I was. It was great. I tell you that because, sensuality, this is going to sound, the worst thing a dude can be is, sensuality has always been important to me. But, it has been. I married my high school sweetheart. I don't really watch video porn. I still read romance novels and shit. I just, when sexting happened, it's the first thing, intimacy-wise, that ever made sense to me naturally. We were just like, wait a minute. You don't have to see how weird I look when I kiss, and I can just tell you what I think I look like? Fantastic. This is amazing. And that came in useful during the pandemic because I spent a month doing sex work. That was fantastic. Here's the thing. My best friend is a MILF porn star. And if you don't know what a MILF is, that's an industry term that means a woman over the age of 32. And, yeah. And her specialty is she's like a stepmom. She thinks a lot of stepmom porn. I don't personally understand why everyone wants to fuck their stepmom, but, if that's what empowers you, ugh. And it's great, you know. It's all right. I'm sex positive, but also gross. And one of her side hustles is she sexts. She'll a fan can be like, I would like to sext with you, and she's like, blah blah blah, you know, back and forth. And during the pandemic, she was like, I fucking need a break, man. Dudes are going through it right now. Do you know how fucked up you have to be for a stepmom porn star to be like, I need a break from you, okay? And I was a dick. I heard her say that, and I was just like, oh yeah, you can't handle it? I could do your job. She was like, fucking prove it. And she threw a burner phone at me, like I had just picked up a job dealing coke. Yeah. And she was like, they'll text you on this. Here's a Dropbox. It's got pictures of my boob and my boob. That's how Baptist I am. And she's like, just respond. And here's what I found out, guys. I found out that I am fucking amazing at being a stepmom, okay? Oh my God, I made more money than she did, okay? She texted me a weekend, what the fuck's going on? I was like, magic is what's happening, okay? Magic. And here's the thing. Here's why I was so good at it. I came from it from a mentor perspective. They'd hit me up and be like, hey, mommy. I'd be like, did you do your homework? They're like, what the fuck? What? I'd be like, send me a picture of your bed made, and I'll show you my boobs. They're like, who the fuck are you? You are the mystery. Oh, my God. And I was really, like, I was, like, I kind of found myself, like, found my inner truth. And then I realized, I got cocky, and then I got broken. Because here's the thing. I could handle the sex. What I couldn't handle, what I didn't anticipate, was the nurturing as a woman. I couldn't handle that. Oh my God. Did you know that a guy will sext a porn star and ask her to build him up? It's gross. It's bad. Here's the question. If you like people with dicks, I'm just curious if someone with a dick has ever asked you this question. Has they ever asked you, do I have the biggest dick you've ever seen? Okay, those are a lot of knowing laughs. Okay, like, I didn't know people asked that question. I've been with the same woman for 19 years. I just hope it's the biggest she's ever seen. Never thought to ask, one time. And these guys would ask me every day, and I would just be like, yeah, biggest dick I've ever seen. And they'd be like, top 5, and I'd be like, what the fuck? I don't even know what to say. I'd be like, yeah, you need a license to use that in this state. And they'd be like, top 3, and I'd be like, who are you? You know? And eventually it fucked with me. I quit. I was just like, I went to her house. I was just like, hey, I am so sorry. I thought that this was an ezy job, and it's not an easy job. I can't handle these boys. And she was like, what was it that did it end? I was like, they just kept asking if they had the biggest dick I'd ever seen. And she was like, oh yeah, they'll do that. And I was just like, how do you handle it? She's like, you just kind of look past it and say yes. And I was like, wow, you are really, really brave. And she was like, you know what, I want you to know, even if you quit, a lot of people have helped me with this job. And like, you're honestly one of the best. And I was like, top 3? She was like, get the fuck out of my house. My name is John Michael Bond. Thanks so much.